Okay, so this is a simple short video on how to use Google Calendars inside your website. Now, the difference here is that you're going to use Google Calendars to enter all your event. You're going to see a new tool called Calendars, and that's because you can have multiple calendars. Each one of these personal calendars over here can be a separate calendar that you have. Now, typically when we build these, you're going to have one that's going to be your month view, so that's going to be this one down here, and that is going to look like your events page over here. So that's going to be your month view, and this is the way it looks and lays out. And you're typically going to have sample data in here like you see right now. I know these aren't the right times and stuff, but we're gonna change that here in just a second. So this is the information that is all going to be in here. And then you have your list view, which is what you would see on your home page, or maybe in your sidebar or something like that. But the list view is going to be laid out a little bit differently. They're both using the same calendar in this particular case. And so when we make our changes, we're going to have to do it to both calendars. Now, what changes do we need to make? Well, right now, we've added the calendar and styled it to your website, but the calendar that it's using is our sample data. So we've got to create a new calendar over in Google Calendars and link that over. So right now, you need to log into Google with your account. You need to go to calendar.google.com and it's going to pull up your calendar. The first thing we're going to do is create a new calendar for your church events. So click on the plus sign, create new calendar, and call it whatever you want and give it your description. Go ahead and set your time zone and hit create, and it's going to create the calendar for you. Now it's done, it's ready to go. So now there's two things we need to do to the calendar that we just created. We've got to make it public, and then we've got to collect the ID and post it into the calendars on your website. So go ahead and click the arrow, come over here to where you created your calendar, click on the three dots, go settings and sharing. The first thing you want to do is make it public. This is only making this one calendar public. Any of your other stuff that you had over here, your personal, your birthdays, or anything like that, that's all going to stay private. This is just anything you put under this event. So now that we've made it public, we need to come down and get the ID, which is right here. It says calendar ID. So we're going to copy that whole thing. And now we're going to come over here to calendars, and we're going to link it into both of these. So we'll go to the list first. We'll come down here where it says Google Calendar. We'll click on it. We'll highlight that, hit delete, and we'll paste in the new one and hit update. Come back over to calendars. Click on the other calendar. Click on Google Calendar. Hit delete, hit paste, and hit update. Now for the most part, that is all you have to do inside of your website for your events. Everything else will be done in Google. So if we come back over here and look at your events page, your calendar is going to be empty because Google's empty. So now let's go add an event inside of the calendar that's going to be for your weekly services. So we'll go back to your home page. So you have Sunday school at 10 a.m. So we'll come over here, we'll click on the arrow. We're in our calendar. I like to go to the previous month, so I'm going to start on Sunday the 26th, double click, and I'm going to call this Sunday school. We're going to go ahead and select it from the 26th. We're going to change it from an all day to a specific time. So it's going to be 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. This does repeat, so we're going to click on the repeating tab, and we're going to say repeats every Sunday. Now we're going to add a location. I strongly suggest you add the location of your service to here so that when people add this to their calendar, they'll know where to go, because they'll have the ability to add this to their own Google Calendar. So we'll go ahead and type that in. Google will find it. We'll plug it in. There. This is where you make sure it's in the right calendar, and then you come over here and add your description. We'll paste that in. So there's your description. We'll go ahead and hit save. And now that's going to repeat all the way through at 10 a.m. We can come back over to the website, and we can go on your services page. And there's your Sunday school with your description. And then they have the ability to add it to their calendar or see the complete details, and this will take them to Google so that they can see it with inside their own calendar. Here it is, and they have the option to add it to their own calendar and so on and so forth. So now that we have the first one in, we'll go ahead and do another one. So as I was adding in the evening service, I noticed that its description looks like it's going to change, and this may actually happen on your other events as well. So I'm going to show you how to deal with that. So right now we're just going to put in the default. So here's the description from the last one that I found on your website, which may change, but that's just going to be a default for right now. Let's go ahead and add in the location. Okay, and let's go ahead and save that. So now we have the evening service there. Now, once it's repeating, what you can do is you can come back to an individual one. So currently you're in Romans, and maybe in March, starting March 1st, you're going to go to a different book. So what you can do is you can come over here and double click on that one event, and then you can edit your description. Now once you have the book changed or the description changed and you're going to hit save, it's going to say, do you want to do it this event for the following events, which is this event plus anyone's moving forward, which will leave the past events the same, or you can do it for all events. If this book is going to change monthly, you might want to do this and following forward and then jump to the next month. If it's going to change regularly, you might just say this event and you can hit OK, and it will just change the description for this one event. But this is how you can go ahead and do your repeating and just let it rip. But then go back and fix and change your different descriptions as you need for each individual month. And now that's going to update it. So if I look at February, the event information is still going to say Romans, but if I come over here to April or further, it's going to say Genesis. So that's how you do that as well. And there's your evening services. So this is for the book of Romans, which you can't see right now because this only shows the first 30 characters. So you might want to do your description a little bit different. You might want to start it off with, we're going to be in the book of Genesis. That way they can see it just by mousing over it. Or you can leave it the way it is, and then they can click the complete details and pull the information up over here. So I hope that helps you guys. That's all there is to it.